Hello, I'm DarkerDevotee and welcome to a game called The Horns. Now, as you can see, this is meant to be a mobile game, touch to play, and it's in a terrible box, so sorry for the resolution. I found this free on Itch.io, I believe. I can't actually remember now. It's a text-based interactive novel. I do love my text-based games. I didn't read much into the description, so I don't really know what it's about because of being a text-based game. I didn't want to spoil the story, so let's just get into it. The Awakening. You are lying on the dirt floor in the dark. You do not recall how you came to be here. Ahead you can see a 5-foot rectangular shape outlined in dim purple light. Something glints on the ground by your foot. Okay, let's examine the glint. I just want to advise you that I'm very tired and have an extremely sore throat, so playing a text-based game at the moment probably isn't the wisest thing to do in the world, but so be it. So sorry if I'm even worse at reading than normal, pretty much, but sure, let's examine this glint next to our feet. You feel around in the dirt by your feet and find something. Lifting it to your face, you can just make out some sort of key. You put the rusty key in your pack. Okay, I assume this is the backpack we have. Rusty key. A rusted iron key. The metal is so corroded it looks like it might turn to dust. It'll open any lock. Okay, it's like a skeleton key. Interesting. So what is all this? We got some weird thing here I can't click on. We got 5 brains and 5 hearts. This is just a settings menu. Okay, so sanity and health? Probably. Okay. Next. Before you is a 5-foot rectangle outline of a dim purple light. Sure, let's touch the rectangle. You hear a metallic rattle. A door perhaps. Exploring the surface you feel a slot. A keyhole. You can hear something moving on the other side of the door. You should try use an object. Okay, sure. Let's use this rusted key. Sorry, I haven't got any like pop filter or anything on this mic, so I'm like afraid that I might be blowing it into the mic while I talk. The bone key slips into the lock of the door. You unlock it with a click. The key crumbles to dust. That's an amazing key. I'm surprised we were able to turn it without it just crumbling, or even hold it without even crumbling. The door swings open a little. Wan purple light spills into the room. I don't think I've ever seen that word before. The door opens easily, allowing a cold, damp breeze to fill the room. Slimy cobble mark a path leading into the fog towards a distant purple glow. The ground begins to shake. The sound of distant horns fill the air, echoing around you. It is louder than anything you have ever heard. Sure, listen closely. You resist the urge to scream as your mind fills with a riot of images. Something huge and dark withering against the white sky. An entire universe, carelessly butchered, its bleeding tissue sewn together artlessly. A great stone city that puts S words and C words together. My stutter cannot handle that. The great stone city endlessly turning with countless eyes staring from its innumerable windows. The image fades. Your head throbs. This experience has a cost. I'm gonna lose some sanity, I'm guessing. Okay. Yeah. Somehow you know those horns. Know those horns represent your one hope of survival. You must find them. You must. Okay, so we're off to find some horns. Okay, move on. The purple light is getting closer. Then a sound nearby. A footfall. Close. Very close. A movement in the mist to your right. Something has found you. A figure approaches you out of the gloom. He is a stubble-faced middle-aged man. You realise that he too seeks the horn. Wordlessly, he joins you. Okay, this is glowed up, so I assume this is a character profile type bit. This double-faced middle-aged man. He tells you he remembers his job involved running and pages of text. He seems calm. Running and pages of text. Okay. Some sort of, like, newsagent? In, like, some sort of dangerous place or something? Okay. Chapter 1. The Village. We suddenly got a skull flashing here. What's all this about? We got oh, I assume it's us. 4 more random stops, so 4 more chapters. Then a boss, some sort of enemy, and then a campfire. Okay, you move on towards the horns. The path ahead angles downwards as you crest a hill. You can hear the sea somewhere to your left, far off in the gloom. Looking ahead, you can see the outline of sagging buildings and occasionally a light. Is it a village? A nearby bonfire burns with a purple flame. You can hear soothing whispers from its glow. Sure, we'll rest by this purple flamed bonfire. What's the worst that can happen? Bonfire lit. You sit and close your eyes. You feel the flames wash over you. When you open your eyes, the flame is gone. You and your companion feel healthier and calmer. Okay, cool, so we've now recovered another brain. Interesting, I've got a really itchy eyebrow. You and your companion feels healthier and calmer. He still seems calm. Oh wait, can I get rid of him? I don't want to, but can I? Confused. Don't know what that's all about. Okay, let's move on. So bonfire was good. You move on towards the horns. 2 small figures dart across the road in front of you and disappear into the gloom. A moment later, you hear giggling. A boy emerges from the edge of the fog, tossing something into the air and catching it again. A smaller boy appears and makes a grab for the object. He misses, and the larger boy laughs. It takes you a moment to realise that both boys' heads are covered with filthy linen clothes gathered at the neck. Okay, do I have to approach him? I assume if I do this, my sanity will go down or something. But sure, we'll approach him, why not? As you near them, you see that the object the larger boy holding is a primitive-looking axe. The boy both stops and faces your direction. There is blood on the front of the larger boy's face covering. He holds out his prize in your direction. His prize. So the axe is his prize? Why are we taking this axe? But he wants to give it to us. Sure. You are surprised when the larger boy lets go of the object. You are more surprised when the smaller boy removes his head, covering to reveal a hollowed out face ringed with sharp teeth. Trying to imagine that. Okay. You are shocked when he lunges at your arm and bites down. Yeah, I could say I'm gonna lose a bit of health here. You feel a bright burst of pain as blood starts to flow down your arm towards your hand. You run. Not surprising. What the hell? How's my... Oh, he still feels calm. He's fine. What have we got? So we've now got a brittle axe. A wooden handle topped with a large bird skull. It is sharp but delicate. It can be used in combat or to cut. Okay. We're running away now. You move on towards the horn. You pass a dilapidated bus shelter. The roof has long since rotted to dust, and the remaining walls are pockmarked with holes. Sitting on the bench is a man. His features are waxy and his eyes coloured. Despite his posture, he is clearly dead. As you near the corpse, you see he is holding a shard of glass, his blade flat against the chest. Sure, I mean he's dead, right? Let's take it. As you take the mirror shard, you notice that the dead man's skin moves. It flows. Pores and blemishes ripple out from his lips and nose, cascading down his face. You look at his feet and see a widening pool of melted flesh. You stifle a scream and run. You do not look back. What the hell? Jagged silvery shard of glass. It is exceedingly sharp. It could be used as a weapon or to cut things. So you've got two things that can cut things or be used as a weapon. Okay. You move on towards the horn. A large metal gate blocks the road ahead. You can see several armed hooded men standing guard nearby. You watch as villagers take something from a guard and presses it to his face, crying out in pain as he does so. After a moment, the man falls silent and straightens. The hooded man stands aside to let him pass. Find another way round the guard will take time, but the requirements to pass them look painful. We have weapons. Can we use a weapon? Oh, guards. Is it multiple guards? Wait. Guard. One singular guard. Can we take him out? I probably should be using this. That's one enemy, right? Dunk dunk. I probably should be saving it for this moment here of the. Fuck it. You try to use a shard of glass, but there's no effect. Okay, sure. Take a mask. Find another way. Let's find another way. You do not like the idea of coming so close to the hooded men, or being masked, whatever that means. You backtrack a little and walk parallel to the spelling error there. You backtrack a little to walk parallel to the barricade in an attempt to find an opening. It takes about an hour of picking your way around broken fences and ruined cottages, but you eventually find a path again. You feel less certain of your path to the horns. Okay, that's probably a wrong decision, right? Dunno. A double-faced man, middle-aged man, tells you part of his memory has returned. He remembers he used to be a carrier. Okay, that makes more sense, I guess. I've got a message for you. I've been looking everywhere for you. Here, I've got a message. Okay. You move on towards the horn. We're getting to know a little bit more about this middle-aged man. That's nice. The lighting's a bit weird, isn't it? Nah, whatever. You see a cottage up ahead. Its windows glowing a warm yellow. Are the lights on inside? Silhouettes move against the windows. People. Living people. You move closer to one of the windows. You see what looks like a family. They are sitting at a large oak dining table. You smell cooking. Your stomach rumbles. It's been a long while since you ate, and even longer since you ate well. This is some random people's house. I can't imagine it going well. We're just going to move on. Combat? I thought combat was this skull here. Oh, did it move along without me even noticing? Okay. A withering, wraith-like terror emerges from the gloom and begins to move towards you. Okay, so the skulls show potential life loss. Okay, so we can lose 2 health here. And the eyes show potential sanity loss. Okay. Use items and survivability to remove these. If you cannot remove all skulls or eyes, push the large button at the bottom to end the combat and suffer the consequences. Right, we can do this. So we've got 2 skulls here. We can use that and we can get rid of all of that, right? What about the eyes? We have to lose the sanity. Because I have nothing to remove the sanity loss from this boss. I don't think. The terror falls to the ground, dead. You are unharmed by the encounter. I included my sanity? Okay. Cool. A shard of glass is lying on the corpse. Take it. You put the mirror shard in your pack. You move on towards the horn. Okay, we've got 2 shards of glass now. Does 1 damage each by the looks of it. You find a black and white flyer in the dirt. You pick it up. The front features a woodcut illustration of a corn dolly. Below the image is a small paragraph of text in a plain typeface. You read it twice, uncertain of its exact meaning. Welcome the harvest. Come to the Sunday gathering and celebrate the imminent arrival of Our Lady. Okay. Something about the words makes you feel uneasy. You throw the flyer over your shoulder and walk into the fog. Okay. Waiting. Wonder what's that all about. Dunno. I thought I'd just check on him anyway. Okay. Yeah, just 1. Okay. Sure, let's ignore the flyer and just continue. Wonder what that meant. You move on towards the horn. The path turns sharply, and after a few steps you begin to hear the sound of waves breaking on the rocks. Ahead, a tower looms up, taller than anything you have seen so far. It takes a few moments for you to realise that it is a lighthouse. The tower's windows are dark, and a glance upwards indicates that the main light is switched off. Nearby, a door clacks idly to and fro in the breeze. Sure, let's enter. You enter the darkened doorway and kick a path through the junk covering the floor. One light from outside reveals books and broken crockery, nothing much of obvious use. You see a door in one wall, presumably leading to the staircase. It is locked, and you cannot see a key anywhere obvious. Okay, a distal generator sits silently near one wall. Distal? Did I say distal? Diesel. Maybe it still works, or maybe a running generator would draw too much attention to your position. Move on. You move on towards the horn. I'd rather not draw attention to us. Ahead, you can make out the ruins of a tall building with a pointed roof. A church, perhaps. Some sort of thing like that. Yeah, sure. As you approach, you can see a large wooden door on the ground, wrapped and sodden. The church's doorway stands dark and empty. Okay, so depending on what I choose here, it could either be a safe place or an enemy encounter, I'm guessing. I assume that's why it's flicking away like that. But sure, let's enter. Peering through the doorway, you see decaying pews and scattered book pages. Ugh. Drinking Dr. Pepper. I hate Dr. Pepper. It just tastes like cherry bake rolls. What remains of the stained glass depicts images of sickle and corn. The corn stalks have faces. Alright. An altar at the far end features carvings of a woman with her arms outstretched, her head a mass of withering tendrils. You have an urge to pray. This place seems to demand it. I mean, I'm not one for praying, but sure, why not? With bowed head, you kneel and stretch your arms out at your side, palms up. Somehow, you feel this is the appropriate position. There is a prickling sensation, as if something noticed you from afar, far away, something that approved of your gesture. Okay. Oh, my back's hurting as well. Okay, so status change. Piety has increased. Okay. I mean, I guess another word for piety is devotion. I'm DarkerDevotee. Makes sense, right? You finished your prayers and leave the ruins. Oh dear. Another combat. Okay. A rotten insectile terror emerges from the gloom and begins to move towards you. Okay. So you're gonna... If we don't defeat this, we're gonna lose 2 of these. Can I use both of the mirror shards? Is that a thing? I mean, it doesn't suggest that I can, but we can try it, right? There we go. The terror falls to the ground dead. You are unharmed by the encounter. A lantern is laying on the corpse. Take it. You put the summoning lantern in your pack. The summoning lantern. The lantern is made of finely wrought black metal and thin filtered film green glass. The guttering purple glow within calls out to you. It will call to others like you. Okay. How's he doing? You still waiting? I don't understand what this is. But sure. Let's move on. That would probably be good for like the lighthouse, which is really dark. The fields. You move on towards the horns. The path changes. Now no more than a wheeled... The path changes, now no more than a wheel-rutted track, leading through a vast plain covered with tall plants. They look like crops. Perhaps this was farm once. Nearby you see a path of scorched earth. In the centre is a bonfire burning with a pale purple flame. You consider whether to rest by the fire for a while or just continue on the path into the field, into the fog. Sure, we can rest it on for a little while. We don't really need to rest it up that much, but we can do it. I mean, why not take the opportunity? You sit and close your eyes. You feel the wet flames wash over you. When you open your eyes, the flame is gone. You and your companion feels healthier and calmer. Are you back again now then? I've got a clue what that's all about. Okay. You move on towards the horn. Still. There you go. Where is this horn? How long is this? Dunno. You hear coughing from nearby. A humanoid figure emerges from the field to your right. He is an old man, and as you look at his face, you see that his eyes have been removed. Measly, he grins. Messily, even, not measly. Messily, he grins. He holds a shard of glass in his left hand and proffers the open palm of his right. He looks like he wishes to trade. You could try using an object. We haven't got anything to do. Oh, we've got a lantern. No, I don't really know what this lantern, when I'll be using this lantern. And he is wishing to trade a shard of glass, which does 1 damage. I don't want to be trading. Oh dear. Oh dear. Look at that. 3 and 3. A scurrying humanoid horror emerges from the gloom and begins to move towards you. I should have traded with him, I think. What if I do this? You turn a small knob at the base of the lantern. The top opens with a creak. A ball of purple light rises into the air, hovers for a moment, and disappears off into the distance. With a final rattle, the lantern falls apart. Distract? The stubble-faced, middle-aged man waves and shouts in horror. Okay, so at least I don't be taking sanity, but I will be taking 3 lots of health. I'll be taking 1 sanity. Don't know what that lantern does. Did that just bring him back to me? I think that just brought him back to me. Okay. Well, that wasn't good. A malformed human arm thrashes out from the gloom, striking you. You flee through the field, your face wiped by stalks of mouldering wheat. Injured and terrified, you eventually escape the horrors. When you stop running, you realise the horns are far away as ever. You move on towards the horns. Something humanoid emerges from the gloom. Another survivor? Maybe they saw the lantern. Here's a wild-eyed young man. You realise that he too seeks the horn. Wordlessly, he joins you. He tells you he remembers his job involved with the sound of flies and pages of text. He seems calm. The sound of flies and pages of text. No idea. Farm? Zookeeper? Dunno. I think they would think of flies. Unless he's like some sort of cleaner. Okay, move on. Move on towards the horn. You see a piece of solid paper fluttering on the ground. On the paper is a black and white picture of a young man. The word "missing" is featured in prominent type, and the remainder of the text is devoted to a broad description of his appearance. Looking around, you realise that there are hundreds of similar pieces of paper strewn on the ground as far as your eyes can see. It is when you realise that each one features a different person that the scale of this tragedy hits you. You run. Loads of people going missing around here. Oh dear. You move on towards the horn. You see something huge and stilt-legged, silhouetted against the sky. A water tower, perhaps? You approach. Bar a little cosmetic weathering, it seems to be in good condition. Looking up, you see a metal ladder leading up the tank, at which point more rungs can be seen inset into the tower's body. You hear something, a series of metallic thumps coming from the tower. Could someone be inside the tower? Something that's probably going to attack us and kill us off with our 2 health. There might be something good in there though. Let's climb the tower, let's be brave. You climb the narrow metal ladder, then carefully manoeuvre yourself onto the rungs set in the side of the tower. At the top of the tower you find a small wheel set into a steel door. The thumping is more distant now. You can also hear something else, muffled shouting. Do I really want to be entering this tank? I'll probably get stuck myself. Sure, why not? With a shriek of metal, you unlock the door. The stench rises from inside, making you gag. You peer down. Skylights set about the top of the tank illuminate a mound of corpses, filling the interior to about a quarter of its depth. Well, that's where all the missing people went. You are badly shaken by the sight of so many bodies. All their hands are ragged raw, as if they try to claw their way out. You see someone staring up at you from the gloom below. They begin to climb the interior ladder towards you. He's a stern, middle-aged man. You realise that he too seeks the horn. Wordlessly, he joins. He manages to climb out of the tower and joins you. Okay, who is this guy? He tells you he remembers his job involving angry shouting and helping people. He seems calm. Okay. You move on towards the horn. A building looms ahead. It is tall, but looks like it's the only a single level. A tool shed. Black windows have been rendered opaque by years of grime. Approaching, you wipe away some of the filth and look inside. It is dark. The door to the shed appears to be open. Maybe there's something of use inside. We do need some sort of weapon. We haven't got anything in our inventory. but our sanity is really terrible. I don't know what will happen when our sanity goes down and we only have 2 health. We can't really be facing any enemies at this point. And there's probably going to be an enemy here, or a campfire, one of the 2. But probably most likely an enemy that's going to kill us off. But sure, we'll move on. The shed's interior stinks of burning engine oil. It is gloomy in here, and your vision has hard time making out details. You can just make out some rusty implement attached to the walls. They're in such poor repair, they'd be useless to you. But on a nearby table, half burned, half buried even, in a pile of machine parts, you see a shard of glass. Ah, nice. The wide-eyed young man shivers. He doesn't like the way it feels. And he pulls at your hand to leave. What's he trying to... He seems calm. What's he trying to take me? But we need this because we haven't got any way to defend ourselves, so we're taking it. You dismiss his worries with a wave of your hand and grabs the mirror shard. As you touch it, you hear a crack from above. You look up. Nothing. There is a sudden movement from the ceiling. A gout of blood splatters your face as the wide-eyed young man is whisked up into the dark. Oh no! Poor wide-eyed young man. He's been killed. Oh no. I feel kind of bad. I don't even know who he is, but I feel kind of bad. Something falls onto the floor. A human head. His head. Okay. We got a mirror shard though. We can defend ourselves of 1 health. Okay. You run from the shed as fast as you can, catching your shoulder on the door jab as you go. You run hearing something behind you as you flee, laughter, low, guttural and inhuman. You run until you cannot hear it anymore. I thought anymore was 1 word, but whatever. Okay. Sorry, random wild-eyed man with his whoever he was. You move on towards the horn. The corn around you rises higher, 8 feet 10. Soon it has become a forest. The corn stalks are thick, like trunks of small trees. Something shrieks nearby. You know one of those creatures must be relatively close. Your encounter takes more... You consider taking a more circuitous route. I think I said that wrong. You'll be harder to find these stalks. And perhaps straying from the path would be safer in this one case. Do we stray from the path again? It's going to take a little longer, but it might be safer. We've got 1 shard of glass. Most enemies so far has been more than 1. All enemies so far has been more than 1. I'm not sure if it was worth taking the risk. We've only got 2 of these. Waiting, confused. I don't understand this really. Yeah, let's go find a safer path. It might take longer, but it might also be safer. You turn to the right and move quietly. The fog makes it difficult to see and progress is slow. Occasionally, screams can be heard deep in the field, all at roughly the same distance. Eventually, you find the path once more, and you realise that you cannot hear any more shrieks. You take a moment to assess your position. You feel less certain of your path to the horn. Okay, move on towards the horn. In the middle of a patch of open ground surrounded by broken and rotten corn stalks, you see a pitch of pale fungi. Approaching it, you notice that their stalks and caps smell slightly savoury, even delicious. I mean, it could be poisonous, right? Not gonna risk it. We're moving on. The Forest, Chapter 3. God, how many chapters are there? You move on towards the horn. Ahead, trees rise up to block the sky. A forest. At the entrance is a clear circle of dirt with a bonfire in the centre. Nice. The flames burn with a strange purple light. You hear whispers as you get closer. The warmth here. Peace. You consider resting by the fire for a while, or maybe you should move on. Let's rest. You sit and close your eyes. You feel the flames wash over you. When you open the eyes, the flame is gone. You and your companions feel healthier and calmer. We restored one of each by the looks of it. The stern middle-aged man tells you part of his memory has returned. He remembers he used to be a psychiatrist. Okay, fair enough. You see the outer sheet of a newspaper on the ground. The headline reads, Attack Studbury calls for curfew. Sorry, I should probably put my phone on silent while I do videos. The article details a series of animal attacks committed in the city of Sir Malcolm. Studbury comments to the press. There is a thinly veiled call for vigilantism, but worded in such a way as to avoid discreet incitement to violence. The phrase "law is for the strong" is repeated with sinking regularity. You toss the sheet and move on. So many words I can't say within this. Okay. You move on towards the horn. Your head begins to throb. The forest around you transforms. Tree trunks become great. Flesh limbs grope towards a black sky. What an interesting way to think of trees. Their leaf litter below you is pocketed with gaping mouths that plucker silently. The pain in your head is sharp while hot. You feel the urge to gnaw at your wrist, to mask one's pains with another. No, you can bear the pain in your head, right? You close your eyes and fall to the forest floor. The pain and hallucination persists. Familiar people merge together, conjoined legs and arms forming a many-limbed gestal with too many desperate staring eyes. Is this what happened? Is this what awaits the world? Or is this the past? The pain is too much to bear. Mercifully, you black out. Sometime later, you waken and rise unsteadily to your feet. The headache is gone, but the impact of the image remains. Okay. So, I probably should have started gnawing at my wrists, right? But that would have just caused pain. I probably would have taken away some health or something instead of sanity, maybe. I don't know. Move on towards the horn. You pass a spherical tangle. I thought that's a triangle, like a spherical triangle. Really? You pass a spherical tangle of thick vines. A human hand pushes out from the mass, grasping at empty air. Is someone alive there? You look around for something to slice the vines with. The branches strewn around the forest floor would be useless. You consider reaching in with your bare hands. You could try using... we don't have any objects to use. We only have a glass shard, mirror shard. Was there anything in the past that we could have picked up? I don't think there was. I think this game's actually kind of like procedurally generated. So each time you play this game, things will be in a different order. I don't know. So Do I try and use my hand? I mean, if I do get this person, it'd be another person added to our crew. Okay, he's a psychiatrist, so it means I could probably gather some of my sanity back if I talk to him, right? Sorry, I'm gonna move on. You move on towards the horn. The tree is thin and your feet hit stone. Looking around you, you see a circle of cobbles. At the centre is a faceless stone angel with outstretched hands. A plaque on the statue base reads, "I desire one thing for the gift of life." You consider using an item to fill the statue's hands. Let's go for it. You place a shard of glass in the statue's hands. Your body feels warmer, all sensations fading for a moment. The feeling of comfort is soothing. Yeah, cool, I thought that might be a thing. You glance at where your offering once lay. The hand has closed around it. You feel healthier. I thought, well, shard of glass, that's only going to protect me from 1 health. From an enemy. I thought, well, being that it was a angel, like a statue of life, it would give me 1 life or maybe full health. So I thought, if anything, I'm just kind of doing nothing in some way. Could protect me from 1 health against an enemy. So yeah. Don't know if it was worth it, but it might have been. Oh, and here's combat. Ooh, that's harsh. That's a harsh one. That one is. Okay, a jittering beast-style terror emerges from the gloom and begins to move towards you. We have no inventory, nothing in our inventory. We can just use him as distracting. We can use him to distract for 2. A stubble-faced middle-aged man. Let's do that, and then we can distract with him as well. There we go. You flee through the ferns and bushes. Thorns and twig lashes at your face. The distraction allows you to get away from the terror. You manage to find a path again fairly easily. Nice. Thank you guys. I know you're both tired now, but thank you. Let's move on. Okay. The land dips sharply. Stone steps have been cut into the side of a hill. You go down using the tree to steady your descent. After a dozen or so steps, you see a large hole in one of the trunks. Something glints inside, in the darkness. You consider trying to grab it. Sure, why not? We have nothing in our inventory. Our health isn't too bad at the moment. Let's reach in. You insert your hand. At first you feel nothing but bark and dust. And then a sharp stabbing pain in the back of your wrist. You withdraw your hand, reflexively balling into a fist. You see no blood, but your wrist hurts. In your hand, you see a bottle of white liquid. You put the potion of purification in your pack. Nice. I assume that would be some sort of sanity thing, probably. Oh no, 2 health. Okay. A bottle of acrid white liquid. It will harm monsters or attack them depending on when it's used. Nice. That was worth it. We lost 1 health to do possible 2 damage to an enemy at some point. Nice. You move on towards the horn. The path curves around a small hillock. On its crown is an old dressing table. The table drawer has been thrown on the floor and the mirror is smashed. On top of the table lies a shard of glass. Take it. The lock clicks and the door unfolds outwards. A flower of wooden petals bloom before your eyes. You see a shard of glass lying in the centre of the displayed box segment. Take that. You put the mirror shard in your pack. Nice. Did we get 1 or 2 there then? We got 2. Nice. Oh. Ooh. Okay. formless beast-style terror emerges from the gloom and begins to move towards you. We're using this, and then we'll use one of the glass shards. There we go. The terror falls to the ground dead. You are unharmed by the encounter. A bottle of dark liquid is lying on the corpse. Take it. Now you picked up potion of concealment in your pack. What was a potion of concealment? An oblong bottle of dark pungent liquid. When opened, its contents forms a cloud of thick smoke, making it harder for monsters to find you. Ooh, nice, nice, nice. I can save 3 brains for that. Okay, cool. You move on towards the horn. Ahead you can see a formal looking sign near the side of the path. It reads, "Warning, restricted zone. Do not try to leave this area. Curfew violation met with deadly force." Someone seems to have scrawled something indecipherable below the sign's text. It is only as you get closer that you realise it's not writing, but smear of blood. You walk away without looking back. Chapter 4. Below. Ooh, okay, I'm actually debating whether to put this into one long video or split it into 2. I didn't realise how long this game was going to be. I honestly thought I probably would have died by now. That and my throat is killing me, but whatever. We'll continue. There might just be a random cut at some point if the video gets too long. Random cut, which then just be the next video. Okay. The path ends at a great grey wall about 30 feet tall. Beyond it, you can make out the tall, twisted shape of a city skyline. A large opening in the wall is partly obscured by rubble. Inside, you can see steps descending into a concrete tunnel. The interior is lit with flickering electric lamps set into the ceiling. The fog has infiltrated even here, limiting the lamp's effect. A bonfire burns at the bottom of the step. Okay, let's rest. Yes. Nice. The tunnel opens up into a circular room. You can just make out an exit through the gloom on the far side. In the centre of the room is a tiled circular column stretching from the floor to ceiling. You notice a football-sized opening in the column at the waist height. A small shelf is visible inside the opening. Far above the hole, out of reach, is a small window. You can see a shard of glass behind the glass. Okay. Sure. You check the shelf more thoroughly, feeling around the interior walls and touching the shelf. You barely have time to pull out your hand as the shelf moves down and the metal door and the metal door siphons shut. Ouch. Glancing through the window above, you see an object move down and then back up as the mechanism resets. Almost lost our hand there. It appears this is a weight on there's weight on the shelf that brings the item down from inside the cylinder. We haven't got any object, have we? Oh, we got a potion of concealment and a mirror shard. I mean, we'll be using this mirror shard to get a shard of glass anyway, so whatever, sure. Why not? The shelf begins to move down and the metal door shuts once more. There is a slight squeak as the pulley engage. The door opens to reveal a shard of glass. Haha, let's take the mirror shard. That was worth it. You move towards the horn. A strange sound echoes through the tunnel ahead, a soft drone, almost musical. It calls to you. As you near the source, you find yourself increasing your pace. You feel a sense of comfort, like that from the horns. Okay, what is the horns? There, on the floor, you see a grate. The sound is coming from below. Let's listen. You drag the grate to one side and look down. It didn't say look down. I said, listen. It is a long drop, perhaps 14 feet or so. It's alright, it's only like just over 2 people. 2.5 people. But the sound is so beautiful. It's a trap. It's gotta be a trap. Let's go for it. You land awkwardly and fall to one side, lacerating one thigh on exposed rebar. There is a flare of pain, but that is swiftly drowned out by the beautiful noise. You grit your teeth and move to a sitting position. You try to ignore the pain. You sit, you listen, you bleed. You weep when the noise finally stops. You don't know how much time has passed. You don't care. Something in the sound makes you feel safe, calm, loved. You're not sure when you last felt this way. Feeling oddly bereft, you climb a stairway back to a one-way door in the main tunnel and resume your journey. Okay, so we lost some health, but we gained our sanity. Okay, I think it was worth it. Probably not, because you have got this sanity thing here. But whatever. You move on towards the horn. The tunnel opens out to a wide chamber, bolted to the floor in the centre of a metallic chair with black rubber armrests. A brown circular stain surrounds the seat, and odd sigils are drawn at intervals around the circle. Your skin grows warm as you approach the chair. It is as if you are being bathed in warm sunlight. All this has to be some sort of trap, right? We're doing it. You sit in the chair and immediately find yourself feeling warm and comfortable. You feel waves of gentle pressure flow down your body, as if your skin were being caressed. You find yourself closing your eyes, as if your aches and pains flow away and your body heals. You feel healthier. Ah, nice, that was good. The sensation passes. After a few moments, you attempt to open your eyes. You cannot. In blackness behind your eyes, something huge and blind gropes its way towards you. It is crossing the interstellar vastness to find your physical form. It reaches you, touching your scalp with a chitchiness? Touching your scalp with a chinituous limb? I don't know how you pronounce that word. Okay. You awaken screaming on the floor at the base of the chair. The experience has taken its toll. How much sanity did we gain from listening to that thing earlier on? Did I just now equal myself back out again? I think so. It's fine. Ooh, well, at least it's not going to kill us if we can't destroy it. Okay, a coarse-haired humanoid terror emerges from the gloom and begins to move towards you. What have we got? We've got Glass of Shard, which can do 1 damage. We've got this, which can take all 3. Might be worth doing that, although I would like to save it. Do distract, and we can do distract here like that instead. Wait. It only needs 2. Shit, I didn't mean to do that. I pushed the wrong button. I pushed the wrong button. Damn it. I pushed the wrong button. I was going to use the man. That's annoying. With a pop and a creak, the coarse-haired humanoid terror extends its neck and bites you. That's really annoying. I pushed the wrong bloody button. It's fine. Injured and terrified, you eventually escape the terror. When you stop running, you realise the horns are as far away as ever. You move towards the horn. Oh, that is so annoying. That is so annoying. The tunnel widens ahead, forming a large domed roof chamber. One light from the surrounding tunnels outline a jagged shape in the room centre. As you approach, you see a ride of strange mechanical spines. Nearby, a large panel bristles with levers. levers. One of the mechanic spines has screwed a human body and lifted it high into the air. Maybe it holds something of value. Let's lower the corpse. You attempt to bring the body down using the machine's controls, and there is a lurk and a rumble. A blade slashes through the air, missing you by an inch. That's close. You dare not touch it again. The stern middle-aged man tells you they once worked in construction, and that they might be able to bring down the corpse safely. Let them try. The stern middle-aged man carefully dabs at the levers. Insectile blades flay and scythe through the air. He pulls one lever, lowering the impaled body in a single swift motion, a rope roll, out from the corpse. Without warning, the blade whips up again, catching stern middle-aged man in the centre of his back. He's now dead. Yep. He falls to the ground dead, next to the tattered rope. Oh wait, take it. Yeah. I'm so annoyed I pushed the wrong button at the end there. That's probably going to kill me off, that is. A rope made of braided human hair. Ooh. The braids are uneven and poorly tied, but it looks like it could bear weight. Okay. Who have we got left then? Okay, we got the more useful one anyway. And then, like, the one who has more resistance to sanity. You move on towards the horn. Someone has scrawled words on the floor nearby. Some of them are indecipherable. They read, "It is an evasion, not land. Realities forcibly fused." You have no idea what the words mean, but something about them rings true. When the pinpricks of horror start to creep up your spine, you try to forget what you read and hurry off into the mist. You move on towards the horn. You pass an opening to a large room. Inside, the lights flicker uncertainly. You can see shelves filled with empty medical supplies. Supply boxes on the far side of the room. What? Was this an emergency hospital? You hear moaning from somewhere in the room. You're fairly sure it's human. Fairly sure. Let's enter. The ceiling in this room is about 10 feet high. Pairs of large rusted hooks pepper the ceiling about 6 feet apart. Staggering clothes hammocks hang from some of the hooks, while only dangling tattered remains on others. The intact hammocks seem to be weathered down, as if occupied. Examine hammock. You pull down the side of one hammock to view its contents. An arm flops over the side, molted grey, diseased, dead. The arm has no fingers. The digits on the hand have fused into a single long flexible protuberance. The lights flicker up again, and you catch a glimpse of the face. You wish you hadn't. Great. The thing's lower jaw is missing. Its face is a riot of small, jet black eyes, like those of a spider. Effectively, you let go of the hammock. It creaks back and forth for some time, throwing skittering shadows across the room. There is a noise behind you from another occupied hammock. As you watch, the shape within bunk withers. You hear a low moan. Then the movement ceases, and the room is quiet once more. Let's examine it. You pull down the side of the hammock to get a better look at its occupants. The hammock convulses, and its occupant flops onto the floor. It is humanoid, swaddled in filthy bandages. You stand back and watch in horror as it rises to its feet and begun tearing at the grey cloth wrapping its face. Within moments, you are staring at a person. It is another survivor, like you. You take a long look at them. She is a stocky young woman. You realise that she, too, seeks the horn. Wordlessly, she joins you. Okay, we've got another survivor. She tells you she remembers her job involving running and pages of text. Okay. The city. I'm still really annoyed that I pushed the wrong bloody button there. Like, come on, we are so low on health and stuff now. The tunnel ends at a larger iron door. You push it and swings open with a groan. Street lamps outline several vast, twinkling buildings nearby. They are weathered in fog like everywhere else. Wreathed in fog like everywhere else. The buildings look warped, almost deceased, but the horns lie somewhere within. You are certain of it. If the horns are in this area here, then I'm even more annoyed that I pushed the wrong button here, because I'm most likely going to die in this area. You see the telltale flickering of blue flames just outside the bonfire. Yeah, we're resting. Blue this time, not purple though. Okay, we've got one of each again. Okay, you move on towards the whore. You move on towards the whore. The road ends at a sharp drop down into the fog. You can hear water. A deep canal comes into view, blocking the way forward. To the right, a tall tower concrete rises 100 feet in the air. You can make out its twin on the other side of the water. Between the two towers, high in the air, you see some kind of enclosed bridge spanning the gap. The bridge seems like it would be the quickest way across the canal. The nearest tower main door appears to be open. We are just going to go straight through it. We're not going to try and find some other way this time. You enter the concrete doorway. There is no door frame and no sign of the door itself, just a hole. The hallway is lit by a small bridge light inset into the wall near the ceiling. As you explore the space, you notice that there is nothing else in here. No desk, no furniture, no sign of habitation. After a series of seemingly pointless turns, you find the beginning of a stairwell. Hot, musty air blows upwards from the darkness below. Go up. You climb the stairs. There are so many, you lose count after 100 and your legs begin to protest. It is when you pause that you realise that something has changed. The harsh right angle of stone has slowly given way to softer, more organic forms. The stairwell now spirals rather than turns. The railings are no longer metal tubes, but smooth and moulded into the stairwell walls. Move on? We're going to move on. The stairs end at the arched door to the walkway. You hear a slight hiss as the entire building pulses. You look back to the stairwell. You can see light begin to wink off one by one. There is another hiss and another pulse. You stumble. Small protuberances like the tentacles of sea anemones begin to emerge from the walls, churning and groping at the air. All the lights in the stairwell are now dark. It is time to leave, quickly. Pulses continue to ripple through the bridge as you run. More tentacles emerge from the walls, whipping back and forth with each peristical wave. You stumble on one of the tendrils, its motion dragging you back towards the dark stairwell. Your skin blisters as it touches. as it touches. Actually, made me jump for some reason. You regain your footing and run for the far side of the tunnel. You run for your life. You do not know how you made it outside. You remember falling and screaming. You recall the primal fear of a prey animal being devoured, and then bursting out into the welcome light of a street lamp. Once you regain your composure, you look back at the building. You watch in horror as the entire structure ripples, lifts, pivots, and impossibly strides off into the fog. You move on towards the horn. Movement catches your attention as you pass an alleyway. You see a line of people stand in front of a cowled man. It sounds like a phone going off in the background. Each person's eyes are wrapped with filthy yellow rags. Dark stains on the clothes suggest ruin beneath. One by one, each person in the line walks up to the hooded man and kisses the palm of his hands. In response, he reaches into his robe and hands them something before the recipient runs into the fog, clutching their prize. Let's join the line. You tell your companions to stay behind. You bind your eyes with a ribbon of cloth. It is thin, and you can still see through the gauzy material. You enter the alley and walk towards the line of people. Nobody objects, nobody even notices. You notice the smell of rot in the air. You join the line, shuffle forward each time a gift is handed out. The rotten smell worsens as you near the hooded man. What is he giving out? Your turn comes. The man raises his palm for you to kiss. You notice a design on his withered palm. It is a circle of corn stalks. Kiss that. His skin is cold and wet, and it stinks of corruption. Then your lips make contact with the moist flesh of his palm. Your mind fills with images. Things shatter, things reform, things writhe, things unravel. We're going to lose a bit of sanity here. The image clear, and you are left with a profound sense of approval. Oh, okay. Our devotion has increased again. Oh, he pulls out a shell of glass from the robe and offers it to you. Oh, okay. Prize in hand, you rejoin your companions. You wander away from the odd scents and out of the alley. Ooh dear. Okay, a spined beast-style shape emerges from the gloom. It begins to move towards you. You run through the streets, tripping over rubble and barbed wire. The distraction allows you to get away from the shape. You manage to find a path, again, fairly easy. The stocky young woman tells you part of her memory has returned. She remembers she used to be another courier. Okay. The street narrows, became something more like The streets now become something more akin to an alley. There we go, that's better. Looking up, the building seems to curve inwards at the top, blotting out all light. Peculiarly, while several ground floor windows adorn the buildings on either side, there are no doors to be seen. Something dark moves in front of a distant street lamp for a moment. You hear a yammering shriek in the distance. Something is moving this way. You look for an exit and see only glass windows. What could we use here? Rope? You smash the window with the rope. The object was cut apart in your hand. You smashed the window with the rope. Whatever. You and your companions clamber through the window frame, taking care not to cut yourself on the remaining glass. I probably should have used a glass shard there. I didn't think a rope would have been able to smash through the window. I thought we would have hooked it onto something and climbed up, but whatever. You land on the floor among piles of boxes. You can hear something moving outside the window. A pale, worm-like tendril pokes through the empty frame. Its quest to and fro for a moment before reacting. The weird sounds going from left to right is really kind of off-putting. A bellow from the outside shakes the ground as you stretch the far side of the room for an exit. You see an empty doorway illuminated by the flickering glow of a lamp on the other side. This place looks like it was once an office. A desk standing near one wall, covered with papers. A single desk light sputters, fizzles and pops, illuminating a room in strobing light. In the chair behind the desk is a corpse. It looks mummified, as if drained all moisture. Looking around, filing cabinets have toppled like dominoes, their contents strewn across the floor. Beyond the filing cabinets is another doorway. Look at the body. The man's throat has been cut deeply. His head is almost severed from his neck. You search for the wound's cause. Nothing. On top of the papers littering the desk, is a single handwritten note. Beatrice, I do this for you. She is coming, and I cannot bear to watch the world unfold. Unfuel? Oh. The church will find me, so I am taking matters into my own hands. I have left means for you and little Jen to do the same. You feel it is time to leave. It only takes a few moments to move the filing cabinets blocking the door. A bellow from the other side of the building tells you the creature is still searching for you out on the streets. Leaving from this exit should buy you a little time before it finds you again. Move on towards the horns. You pass a line of telephone poles, their wires hanging limp and useless against the concrete. Something about them reminds you of how much the world has lost communication, connection, cooperation. You notice a locked box attached to one of the poles. It is about 5 feet off the ground. The padlock holding it closed looks rusty. A good swing with something other than your fist would probably open it. Okay, you hold shard of glass in your hand and smack at the lock. Both comes to pieces. The lock's brittle segments fall to the ground. The door is stiff, but the application of pressure caused the hinge to yield. It swings open to reveal a bottle of dark liquid sitting in the bottom. I assume this bottle is the same dark liquid stuff we have already. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. So you've now got 2 of those. Fair enough. Come in handy. You move on towards the horn. The road opens up to what looks like an abandoned street market. A crowd stands around a hooded figure on the large raised wooden platform. Someone has piled heaps of rotten corn on each side of him. At his feet, you see a large iron bar. What is this about corn and stuff? Corn, hooded figured people? It's all very weird. The figure is speaking, though you cannot make out his words. You instinctively know it is a ceremony of some kind. Sure, we'll be nosy. As you listen, your mind is filled with images of scythes, screaming ears of corn. Just imagine corn having ears. And a tall woman with a rolling head of tendrils. You feel as if you are somehow unworthy, a sinner, a lowly creature requiring penance atonement. You are racked with a sense of self-loathing and profound guilt. This isn't good. You feel you should approach the preacher. You feel you should offer your blood, as others did before you. Walk away. You plug your ears and try to walk away. You're horrified to find it makes no difference to the volume of his words. They penetrate your mind, leaving you shaken and racked with a profound guilt. Okay. It seems only distance will quiet him. Chapter 6, The Nightmare. Where the hell is this horn? Or the horns? You hear the blare of the horn somewhere in the distance. Darkness rolls over you like a wave. Are we actually near? That's a cool face. The road ends at a part of enormous carved wooden double doors. Light spills from the faint cracks between them. You hear whispers from behind them. You look around. There is nowhere else to go. You push at the doors. They move effortlessly despite their mass. As they swing to a stop, you can see the interior of a building plainly. It is lit by 1,000 purple candles. You see a great hallway leading to a large circular chamber. The fog does not touch this place. Great stained glass windows in the hallway reach the vaulted ceiling. Their patterns shift and transform under your gaze. Ahead, beyond the candlelight, you see a faint purple flicker. Examine the windows. The windows depict stars upon stars, whole galaxies crushed together into an artless brute of parliament sets. Looking closer, you can make out individual words overlaid upon each other. Looking closer, strange alien creatures like intertwined whips, cabots with dog and men, whales and gulls. In some places the image blurs, as if the creature have been overlaid, one upon the other. The effect is calming and horrifying, and at equal measures. Okay. A large purple fire roars in the main chamber, its flames licking the ceiling. You can hear the horn from within its heart. The floor is littered with thousands of small items, clothing, shoes, rings, even false teeth, all strewn around as if their owners had no need for them any longer. You realise that someone has painted a circle around the fire in some dark brown pigment. It is about 20 paces across. As you move inside the circle, you feel an urge to undress, to lie down, to sleep and be warmed by the fire's glow. Sure, we'll lay down. Fire so far has been good. This is probably the one time it's not going to be good and it'll kill us all. You remove your clothing and place it outside the circle. You keep your pack with you. Whatever happens next, you are not meeting it empty-handed. You and your companions look at each other and then lay down near the fire, closing your eyes. You feel the fire begin to pulse and waves of warmth flow over you. Your companions feel healthier and calmer. Oh, that's good. The pulsing subside. You open your eyes. You look around and see nothing but your companions. The ground underfoot is utterly invisible. It feels like fine and oddly fluid, like black sand. Before you get a chance to move, you hear the blare of the horn once more, and the darkness rushes in like a breaking wave. You hear the blare of horns somewhere in the distance. Darkness rolls over you like a wave. The air around you becomes thicker and denser. Your skin begins to feel slick, wet. It is when you feel the pressure, when you see the world under you drop away, that you realise the truth. You are floating beneath the surface of a great and dark sea. You instinctively hold your breath as your vision distorts. Below you in the deep is a blue, soothing light. Above you can see a flicker of the grey you know to be the sky. Do we go up or down?
Up or down? She chose down.
If we swim down, we're probably going to drown to death or something stupid. So let's just go up. You swim upwards with the speed and strength of pure desperation. After several strokes, your lungs burn. You let out a small stream of bubbles from your mouth to alleviate the pressure. But soon, exhalation alone is not enough. Your lungs crave air. The surface simmers above you. Is it too far? Maybe we should have gone down. With the last frantic kick, you thrust upwards, your head breaks to the surface and you choke down, lungs full of salty air. When coughing subsides, realise that your feet are on solid ground. You are no longer floating, no longer swimming, no longer at sea. Before you stretch an infinite plain of black Silica. The Horns. Chapter 7. You remember her, your mind fragmenting as it simultaneously beheld a vision of rolling black tendrils in human form. All your actions up to this point were now revealed to be what they were, mere distractions to your true calling. When her eyes beheld you, your heart filled, not with love, but with pure, emotionless devotion. In your rapture, you screamed to the world below, the sound less human than instrument, a blaring trump, like that of a horn. Sorry, trump means fart. A blaring trump. Of that, like a horn. Congratulations, you reached the horn, surviving 35 scenarios. Wait, I'd done it? Even after my mistake? If I didn't have a mistake, I would have had like a good 4 on each side or something stupid. At the end, you led 2 living companions, you lost 2 along the way. I saved some people. You fought 7 battles and won 3 of them. I would have won 4. No one remembered that you gave in to the outside influence. Play the game again to see more scenarios and learn more about what happened before the fog came. In another video maybe. I've been reading for a good hour and a half now, my throat is absolutely killing me. You remember her, your mind fragmenting as it simultaneously beheld a vision of rolling black tendrils and human form. All your actions up to this point were now revealed to be what they were, mere distractions to your true calling. When her eyes beheld you, your heart filled, not of love, but of pure emotionless devotion. We've already read all this. In your rapture, you screamed in the world below. Yeah, what the hell? I just wanted to end game. There we go. That's a bit odd. I enjoyed that a lot, but see, I really love those I really love kind of text-based interactive story type things like that. Really do love them. I hate editing them back because then I realise just how bad I am at reading out loud. But hopefully you enjoyed that as well. And if any of you want me to see if I can get different, come back to this, if any of you want me to come back to this and get different scenarios and stuff, I will be more than happy to do so. And yeah, very, very good. There's a few spelling errors and a few moments where the punctuality wasn't quite well, so it didn't really flow that well when you're reading it out loud, but other than that, yeah, really, really good. Yeah, I don't really have much to say, just that I enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought of this in the comment section below. This game is free on itch.io. There is a link in the description below if you want to check it out yourself. I'd highly recommend it if you enjoyed watching this or listen to this. And yeah, so I will just leave this as one big video. So well done if you made it to the end. Thank you so much. If you made it to the end, if you're watching this now, write down the comment section below. Don't know, but I've got a random Donkey Konga Bongo CD here. I've lost the case for it. So if you made it this far throughout the video, type the words, type something to do with Donkey Konga, saying like, I love Donkey Konga. I wasn't expecting Donkey Kong to be in the game, or something along the lines of Donkey Kong. Just to really confuse people who read the comments that didn't make it through the entire video. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this, then please remember to hit that thumbs up button as well. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And I'll see you all in the next video. Cheerio. Cheerio. Thank you for joining me on this journey. It was good fun.